Welcome to WagerTalk TV. I am Kelly Stewart, joined by CFL betting expert Andrew McInnis at McInnis Picks on Twitter. Andrew, CFL season is right around the corner, and guess what? I've realized I don't know anything about these teams. We've got rule changes. We've got new team names. We're going to start from top to bottom. We're going to break down the East on this video. We're going to have the West video up on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. We've got regular season win totals today, odds to win the Grey Cup. But first, I need you to take 2 steps back for a recreational bettor like myself and tell me how we're looking at the season.
Well, the biggest thing about the CFL is the word change. The contracts are shorter. There's a QB carousel. There's different coaches every single year. That is the main focus for me in my off-season handicapping in the CFL. And you'll hear me dive into that quite a bit in this video, figuring out which teams can adapt to their new players, which teams can develop that chemistry quickly, and frankly, which teams will not be able to deal with it. And for a few of these teams I'll speak of today, it'll be a big problem for them.
All right, let's start over here with the Ottawa Red Blacks. Now, can you tell me why they capitalized their whole name? I'm so confused. But we know that this is a team a lot of people are looking at. Current odds, I'm looking at a Canadian sportsbook right now on the WagerTalk odds screen. They are 15-1 to win the Grey Cup.
Well, the capitalization, maybe it's because they're playing in the nation's capital of the country. Other than that, I have no answer for you, Kelly. But since reaching the Grey Cup in 2018, in 3 straight years, they have failed to reach more than 4 wins on the season. And I described change as a big problem in the CFL. This year, Ottawa has a new offensive coordinator, a new defensive coordinator, and a head coach that only has 1 year under his belt. I worry about the defense for this Ottawa Red Blacks team. They just struggled to get off the field, struggled to give the offense an opportunity to create any momentum. And frankly, I do not think that Masoli has many weapons on the offensive side. They did make some trades. They did acquire some big names, which should help them in a big way. But I do not expect them to make any big steps in the right direction. A new OC, a new DC, not really the right steps for a good direction here for Ottawa.
The last time I watched a Grey Cup, this team was the winner, the Toronto Argonauts. And they have a familiar face, well, at least to me, Chad Kelly in the quarterback position. Current win total, 9.5 wins, juice towards the over. Break down Toronto for me.
Well, I mean, looking at this Argonauts team coming off a Grey Cup last year, Kelly, this is a team that pretty much wins the Grey Cup whenever you think they're not going to. McLeod Bethel Thompson, he moves on to play football in America. So all of a sudden, the team belongs to Chad Kelly. The biggest thing for this Argonauts team was bringing back key players. They've got key pass rushers all over the field. Getting that run game established early on has been a big key for them. And their head coach, he puts a huge emphasis on defense. Success for them will come from all these players that are returning. I have high hopes for them coming in here. Their front 7 was huge for them, getting to the quarterback, but health is a major concern. Last year, throughout the entire season, I felt like we were never able to see this full team on the field. If they can do that, they will compete for a top 2 spot in the East.
All right, the Montreal Alouettes. Man, this team has just been mediocre at best. 9-9 on the season last year. Nothing special to write home about. Can they turn it around this year and get over 500?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's all about pass protection. This offensive line was so weak, and guess what? They addressed that in the offseason. They also addressed their quarterback situation, picking up Cody Fajardo from the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Oh yeah, guess what else they did was pick up his former offensive coordinator from Saskatchewan, Jason Moss, which is always a pleasure to have that when, you get a new quarterback, but he's very familiar with the head coach. He's worked with Jason Moss for the past 2 years, Kelly, which, as we all know, will take some, time away from earning that chemistry, getting to know how he runs his offense. And William Stanback, running back for the Montreal Alouettes, he had an unbelievable year last year, despite injuring himself near the end of the first game. If he can stay healthy, that will be huge for them. The biggest thing with this Montreal team is their defense. They give up big plays. The biggest thing with this Alouettes team is they give up lots of points downfield. I do not trust their secondary, but if they can get that together, this coaching staff and this team should thrive this year in the East.
Last but not least, your favorite team out of the East to win the Grey Cup, currently plus 550 there in the sportsbook up north, the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And this is a team that I know, Andrew. Why? Brandon Banks, former Kansas State Wildcats, was the return man, and I would catch highlights from time to time about how fast he was. He never made it in the league, but he made a splash in Hamilton.
I loved watching him. He's been exciting in the league, and you got to love the return game in the CFL. Look, Kelly, the Hamilton Tiger Cats are not just going to be in the Grey Cup, they are hosting the Grey Cup, and I believe that will definitely push them to get to the big game and get the job done. The big story surrounding this Hamilton Tiger Cats team is picking up Bo Levi Mitchell in the offseason. Bo has had a ton of success, a two-time most outstanding player in the CFL, former Grey Cup champion with the Calgary Stampeders, but he needs a fresh start. He needs somewhere new to go. With them bringing back linebacker Simone Lawrence, signing Duke Williams, and finally signing some O-linemen to protect their quarterbacks, I feel like this will be a big year for Hamilton. They've had so much potential over the past few years. They've struggled to win in the big game. Last year in the playoffs, they could not get it done against Toronto. This is the year, and Kelly, we're getting great value here. I believe Bo Levi can take them to the promised land, and what's better than winning in front of your home crowd?
I love that, Andrew. Rapid fire, CFL. That is the East Division. Make sure you guys head over to the WagerTalk YouTube channel and see who Andrew likes out of the West.